Sup everybody, this is Karak with ACG. And what did you think about Devil May Cry? That's the question that's going up today in this video. I want to know what you guys thought of the game. This is something I've always really enjoyed, is that communication between the people who see the reviews and then later on the people who've actually played the game and what they think of the reviews later on. What did they like or dislike? What did they agree with or not agree with when it comes to the reviews? This is something that has absolutely turned out to be a great boon to the channel. We discuss all of these opinions on the International Podcast at the end of each week. And if we read your opinion, we will end up giving you a game. You know, when you look at Devil May Cry, especially now, second highest release ever for Capcom, absolutely blew the doors off, did incredibly well, had some really good combat, had some really unique storytelling, but that was the thing. A lot of people didn't like that storytelling. A lot of people haven't really necessarily loved the levels, including yours truly. There's different parts of the game that I think that, especially with so many people now getting hands on it, we can really dive down into it and discuss these things. So I want to know what you thought of the game. Give a detailed description in the comments, whether you agreed or disagreed, just overall what you thought. It's so fascinating when you put this game up against Resident Evil 2 Remake and you see that Capcom really has nailed it. In fact, Capcom's own leadership has basically come forward and says, Capcom's back, that kind of thing. I don't necessarily think they went away. I just think they were on a little bit of a hiatus. They had a couple issues here and there. But these two games really have come forward and up the ante in various different places. Now, personally, I think that Resident Evil 2 shined a little bit brighter than Devil May Cry in most places. Devil May Cry certainly does do well, especially with that complex combo system, but I did have an issue with been there, done that kind of levels, and I want to know what you think of those. Did you have the same issue that I had? Another place where I actually think this game steps it up is the V combat. The combat there really is a unique departure from the other types of combat, and it's something that I personally feel is helped in games like this, especially when you have a multi-protagonist title like Devil May Cry. It really is great to sort of jump in there and have that little bit of bump and change to the gameplay and a unique feel to everything. And what it ends up doing is it causes all of the fighting styles to be more memorable, especially to me when you look at the fact that for many of these, you can actually choose which of the characters you want to play in the particular levels. It's not all of them, but it's some of them. Also, I'd love to know what difficulty you played on. There's multiple difficulties, and as you beat it, you unlock more and more difficulties, and those change around the game world. Lastly, I want to talk about them microtransactions. What did you think? I found that they were really overall brain dead. They didn't feel like there was any really reason to have them in there, but I want to know what you guys think of that. This is one of the things that I love so much about ACG, is the back and forth between you guys and myself, and really giving a voice to the people who, after the reviews have come out, you know, there's always a video for me to do, but a lot of times there isn't any way for you guys to really get information back and sort of say what you thought, other than say forums or Reddit and so forth. But those don't always work, and they certainly don't contain the audience and allow for that tit for tat of feedback. And that's what this does. And I'm absolutely excited to hear what you guys think of the game. So anyway, that's it for me. Leave a comment. I would love for you to follow on Twitch and Twitter and Facebook and all that stuff. It's up there. Of course, on iTunes and Anchor, all of the podcasts now, the Aimless, the Banter Files, and the International Gaming Podcast, are all done in audio version, and you can rate them and review them, which really does help the channel get a little bit more visibility within the podcast spectrum, which really does actually help the channel. Also, thanks to everybody who showed up for Twitch and just had a great discussion. Also, as always, thanks to everybody who's in the Discord and who is a patron, especially now when you consider that almost all of the videos are either demonetized, get demonetized, or stay demonetized. This has been a tremendous problem for the last year and a half, and everybody's really stepped up and created a team in ACG. It's not just me telling you what I think and pretending like I know everything. It's all of us discussing my opinion and then what your opinion is, and sort of coming to this awesome general consensus and idea of what we all think of a title and why we may have liked it or disliked it, even if we don't all agree. Anyway, that's it for me. Peace out and enjoy the rest of your week.